Hey everybody, Ram Dean and Black with you here in the FN studios. UFC 205, a memorable night of mixed martial arts, especially for the former 135-pound female champion, Miesha Tate. She's seemingly accomplished everything you can possibly accomplish in mixed martial arts, and Saturday night was her swan song, as she called it, a day from the sport. And it's amazing everything that she's done in MMA, because most people don't even have a chance to fight for a UFC championship. She was a UFC champion and a Strikeforce champion, a tough coach. Everybody knows her. Hopefully she's made a lot of money during her time.
Yeah, and this is just starting to show us how now women's, fighting in the UFC has been around long enough that we have our first real legend retiring. Think about that. She's the first real legend in women's fighting that will retire, and we can say that honestly. And her dream was to become very successful. Her dream was to be a star, maybe. I don't know her, but you got that feeling. And her dream was to be the UFC champion, and she accomplished that. And I feel like that moment, her career was done. And I think on some level it was. I think she did what she came to do. Traveled around, was in here at Fight Network. I wasn't here that day, which was sad, because she seems awesome. And became the champion, traveled around as the champion. But at that moment, you have to reset your goals. And they have to be huge again, because you've been motivated by this enormous goal. And now you've accomplished it. You can't just go about business the same, and there has to be something else. And I don't think there was. I think she did what she came to do, and now she's done, and I think she should be very proud of that.
So you believe that her goals have changed, because throughout her mixed martial arts career, you go back to the very beginning, started her amateur mixed martial arts career in March of 2006. The idea of women fighting in the UFC, that was so far in the future, that couldn't have possibly have been your goal.
Maybe, but it could have been. For a lot of them, they were like, we're going to be in the UFC one day. And they did. They were. And they did. And she fought some of the biggest fights in the world. She fought Ronda a couple of times. And she did pretty damn well against Ronda. And she won the title. And really, it's not just the winning of the title, but the way that she won the title, because it defined her entire career. She had to hang in there till the very, very end, using toughness and being hard-nosed and tenacious and whatever other words you want to use to describe the exact same thing. That's who she always was, and that defined that fight, and it defined her career, and it gave her that title that she will have for the rest of her life.
Yeah, and that's really, what more can you want from a mixed martial arts career? She's able to accomplish the things that she's been able to accomplish. She's kind of affected the landscape. She's a role model for countless girls out there, and I'm sure a lot of guys out there. But what do you anticipate will be the future for Miesha Tate? Do you think she's still going to be a part of the game?
I liked Dana's story. That guy tells good stories.
Yeah.
Uncle Dana, backstage, and he's trying to send her to the hospital, and she's like, I don't work for you anymore. And he's like, I'll find you a job if you go to the hospital. That's adorable. And she probably will do something for the UFC. I mean, she's,
you want her as an ambassador.
Well-spoken. Yeah. She's a former champion. She's beautiful. And, they would benefit from that, and it's probably something she'd enjoy. So I think that'll happen.
When you think of some of the best Miesha Tate moments, is it that when she fought Holly Holm, it looked like all she needed to do was last the 25 minutes, and she would leave with the title, Miesha Tate just sticking with it and eventually getting her opportunity to sink in the choke?
Go watch that fight again, and really watch it and try to experience it. Try to experience it from her point of view. Being punched in the face over and over as you try again and again and again. And if you can just get in, if you can just get yourself where you need to be, you'll still have a chance to win it. And in the meantime, you just got to stay in it, stay in it, stay in it. And if you get your chance, you'll make it happen. That's exactly what she did. It's a really beautiful fight. It's, we often move on way too quickly from these fights.
Yep.
And these are amazing moments in time. And I'm glad that we have them all. And I'm glad that all the modern ones are recorded like this, because they're special moments in time when the great athletes in the world with a lifetime of training and dreams and desire and grit are put together in a cage.
And I love that you said that about Miesha Tate. You got to stay in it if you want to become a champion. And you have to imagine part of Ronda Rousey's success, you can attribute that to Miesha Tate and their rivalry. Miesha Tate, thanks for everything you've done inside of the cage.